Good evening, and the presentation topic is leveraging adaptive learning systems and gamification for indigenous knowledge integration. Myself, Dr.K.Vijayakumar, Kalasalingam Academy of Research and Education. The main research overview and objectives of this presentation is examining how adaptive learning systems and gamification can revitalize indigenous learning integration in Indian education system while addressing Western-centric curriculum limitations. So we'll be focusing on three aspects. One is on adaptive learning system, which is AI-powered personalization of the education content and pathways based on individual student needs and cultural context. Second is gamification, culturally sensitive game design elements being incorporated into the learning system that enhances engagement while preserving indigenous values and traditions. Third one is indigenous knowledge, integration of classical Indian knowledge systems including Ayurveda, Vedic mathematics and philosophical traditions. The current challenges in Indian higher education system is that when it comes to Western-centric curriculum, the main issues is that marginalization of indigenous knowledge systems and classical Indian text is majority of missing with respect to the Indian context, and limited integration of regional languages and cultural context, overemphasis on rote learning without experiential components, and finally disconnect from India's rich philosophical and scientific heritage. The main challenges in outcome-based education is that low student engagement with culturally irrelevant content, poor intention of traditional knowledge and values, limited practical application of theoretical concepts, inadequate preparation for local community needs. So these are the current challenges in the Indian higher education system as of now. When it comes to strength, weakness, opportunity, threat of Indic knowledge integration is that the strength is we have rich indigenous knowledge base, growing digital infrastructure, strong cultural foundation and government support for educational reform initiatives. Weakness, we have limited technological integration expertise, faculty resistance to change to advanced, inadequate funding for infrastructure development and fragmented implementation approaches. The major threats are digital divide issues, security, cultural appropriation, algorithmic biases, and resistance from traditional educational establishments. The main opportunities we have is AI and gamification technologies, national education policy reforms with different forms of local language, national language processing, and the content in regional languages, increasing digital literacy and global interest in indigenous knowledge systems. The main concepts here we emphasis on Indic philosophy, which is on holistic development, which is Sarva Sambraha, integrated knowledge, Samavaya, and purpose-driven learning, which is Artha, meaning, as foundational principles for educational transformation. So Sarva Samgraha is the holistic development approach integrating intellectual, emotional and spiritual dimensions of learning. Samavaya is interconnected knowledge systems recognizing the unity and Next is Artha, which is driven education aligned with individual potential and societal benefit. Here we can see the effectiveness between the different metrics when it comes to adaptive learning system, personalization, cultural context, real-time feedback, difficulty in adaptation and multilingual support. The personalization engine, the AI algorithms customize learning paths based on their student need, their individual profiles, learning styles and cultural backgrounds. Cultural integration in the sense content delivery in regional languages, which is narratives, cultural narratives and indigenous knowledge framework. So here we can see the different areas of philosophy, medicine, mathematics, ethics and environment, where the Indic integration comes with Vedanta, modern synthesis, Ayurveda, allopathy, Vedic math, Dharma based case studies, and ecological wisdoms, where the technological tools used with respect to the individual areas, dialogue simulation, AR and VR visualization, adaptive practice, decision scenario simulations, data analysis platform. And when it comes to learning outcome with respect to each, we can thinking and critical thinking and ethical reasoning with Vedanta modern synthesis, holistic health understanding when it comes to Ayurveda allopathy, computational efficiency, Vedic math techniques, moral with respect to ethics, dharma, sustainable development minds with ecological wisdom traditions, which is data analytics platform. The major gamification strategies with relevant to cultural congruent is the collaborative learning, which is Sangha. Sangha means Sangam, together, team based request promoting collective problem solving, which is team skill is very important as far as the skill of a student outcome is concerned. Peer mentoring systems reflecting Guru Shishya traditions, community contribution, tracking through karma credits, like getting credits for the learning outcome, collaborative achievement, celebrations and recognition. The same when it comes to the Indic practices, tapasya based progression, disciplined effort tracking, meditation and mindfulness, integration in learning, artha based purpose driven spiritual growth indicators alongside academic practices. And next, the impact of gamification in the different analysis could be seen here with respect to the generic games, cultural games and mixed approach. So the retention percentage will be more higher in the cultural games, whereas when it comes to engagement and satisfaction also, the cultural games seems to be higher. And with respect to the language, Sanskrit language learning, we could see the improvement in learning outcome with respect to text comprehension, student engagement, knowledge retention, critical thinking. So intelligent tutoring systems with respect to the national language, AI powered adaptive difficulty adjustment with tapasya based achievement tracking in the local or the Sanskrit traditional language shows some improvement. The gamification achievement system with respect to the peer mentoring, dynamics, community recognition aligned with traditional learning practice. Similarly, we can see with respect to the other program of Ayurvedic medicine as well, through traditional model integration and accelerated learning. The main challenges and solutions is that technically the development of robust NLP for Indian languages is a difficult task. The algorithmic biases are there and creating scalable technology platforms. And institutional barriers we have is faculty resist to change, curriculum redesign complexity with respect to NLB, and inadequate teacher training and limited institutional support systems. The main risk is with respect to the ethical AI usage, data privacy, protection, security, and design principles of diverse student populations. Innovative solutions is that phased implementation approaches could be brought, comprehensive faculty development programs could be implemented with public-private partnership and continuous feedback mechanisms. Recommendation is the strategic way we can establish national centers of excellence to create collaborative networks, invest in teacher professional development, FDPs, FTTPs, STTPs for the developing ethical AI guidelines in education. So we could use AR and VR, virtual reality, augmented reality for learning experiences with respect to the Indic practice, mobile first strategies for wider access, and blockchain for credential verification. Then when it comes to long-term studies, we can conduct longitudinal research on the impact, student outcome tracking and community benefit. Global integration with respect to the framework forming cross-cultural knowledge systems and global indigenous knowledge network. So expected tricks with respect to the traditional language system is that we have 85% of student engagement, 70% attention, 60% of academic performance, 90% of cultural connection could be improved through traditional method of learning systems incorporated with AI. So thank you for your attention. If you have any queries related to this presentation, you could contact me at k.vijayakumar@klu.ac.in. Thank you.
Hello everyone, good morning to everyone and greeting to all participants of the Viksit Bharat scheme 2047. Thank you very much Dr. Dave sir for giving me opportunity as a session chair and reviewing the research paper. Right, so first of all I appreciate the author's efforts in selecting a meaningful and relevant topic. The paper focuses on integrating adaptive and learning system and gamification with Indian knowledge system, which is very important for the future of Indian higher education. This alignment with the Indic value and modern technology is a strong point of the work. And in this research paper, the abstract is very well written and clearly explain the purpose and scope of the society. And as well as the introduction parts is also provide a good background and clearly highlight the challenges faced by many uh, institute at current education system. And the objective of the paper is also clearly mentioned, which helps to other author or the readers to understand the direction of the research. As in this research, the discussion on adaptive learning system and gamification is informative. The attempt to connect the technology with Indic philosophy, value, and traditional learning models like the Guru Shiksha tradition is appreciable. So the overall structure of the paper is logical and well organized. The flow from introduction to conclusion is very well organized. So the conclusion is effectively summarized, and there are some key ideas emphasize the importance of culturally aligned education in India. So in so there are some from my side there are some suggestions for improvements by which the paper can be more simplified for further make easier to understand for wide audience. Like a few sentences are long and can be broken into short ones. Minor grammatical corrections are required at some places, and formatting can be done in consistency to the last 2 or 3 year paper. So overall, this is a good academic contribution with strong ideas and clean intent. With minor revision, this paper can become even more impactful and useful for learner and educators. So I again encourage the author to revise the paper and based on these suggestions and continue working in this important research direction. Thank you, and I wish all the participants great success in their academic journey.